And welcome back. We're just hours away from the sixth Republican presidential debate.
45 minutes, if you count the undercard debate.
Does anybody count the undercard debate? I don't know.
Oh, ouch.
The field has been cut down, the main debate stage, to only 7 candidates.
Yeah, Jeb Bush just made the cut to stay on the main stage. He'll need to get his numbers up, though, and it all starts tonight.
Joining us now for special live coverage of tonight's GOP debate in Charleston, South Carolina, the chair of the Republican Diversity Coalition and Jeb Bush supporter, Chelsi Henry. Great to have you with us, Chelsi.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, we interviewed Jeb Bush last week and asked him about his low favorability ratings according to a new Gallup poll, and here's what he had to say in response.
Hell if I know. I don't really care. I'm focused on these early states where my numbers are much better.
Jeb, defiant there. That soundbite was picked up by a number of media outlets, the Daily Cost, the Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, Vanity Fair, all talking about it. Chelsea, I know you are fully backing Jeb Bush. When he says, though, he does not care about his favorability numbers, what does that say to you and the other Jeb Bush supporters out there?
I am all in for Jeb, and so I'm in for Jeb because I believe in him, I support his policies, and I believe that he's the strongest candidate for to be our next commander-in-chief. And so what the governor was saying at that moment is that he is focused on the grassroots operations that he has in primary states. And, you know, with polling these days, one day they can say you're on top, the next day they can say you're on the bottom, but what's important is that he's focused on getting his message across to the American voters.
Yeah, I think he has to know a little bit because he's definitely kind of shifted his campaign. Chelsea, Jeb has been on the attack more recently. I'm sure you've noticed that. Here he is over the last 2 days actively attacking Trump and kind of passively taking a shot at Marco Rubio. Take a listen.
Just one other thing, I got to get this off my chest. Donald Trump is a jerk.
It sets me off. That's why I called him a jerk. What kind of person would you want to have in the presidency that does that?
Do you own any platform boots that make you taller?
I got my cowboy boots on, Big Joe. I don't have a height issue.
Oh, okay, very good. Cheat
I kind of felt bad for Marco Rubio on that one with those cowboy boots. But anyway, want to get your thoughts, Chelsea, since you're a big Jeb Bush fan. Do you think this new offensive strategy is the best way for him to win back some of that popularity?
That's the strategy that the campaign is using. They're putting the facts out there. As you know, the campaign ad said, enough is enough. It's time to the American people to know the truth about Trump, about how his policies and more so lack of policies would affect American voters. And so that's what he's doing, and I support what he's doing because he's getting out there.
I really think that new Jeb Bush ad calling Donald Trump a jerk is a very strong ad. I just wonder if it's a little bit too late. But meanwhile, Chelsea, when we all wake up tomorrow morning, and maybe you're going to wake up tomorrow, you crack open the state newspaper there in South Carolina or the Charleston Post and Courier, what is the headline in regards to the GOP debate? What are we going to see tomorrow morning, the headline coming out of this debate?
The GOP is going to win back the White House in 2016. We'll see that Jeb had his strongest performance ever. With only 7 candidates left on the stage, it will allow for each of these candidates to really share their policies and share how they're different from each other, and most importantly, why they differ for President Obama and Hillary Clinton.
Chelsea, I want to ask you one quick thing, though. If you could, give some advice to your man, to your candidate, to Jeb Bush tonight, what advice would you give him?
For tonight, I would say stay strong, stay focused, and speak up.
All right. And stand tall. Don't wear platform boots.
Don't wear platform boots. Keep the cowboy boots on. It's going to be a little bit more difficult for Jeb tonight because he's going to be all the way
Hey, he's tall enough already.
He is a tall guy. As someone else was pretty tall, I kind of take offense in that Morning Joe clip. He said there's an inverse relationship between height and intelligence. And as a tall American, I don't appreciate that.
Oh, I'm sure. Ouch. Well, then I'm glad that I'm vertically challenged. Chelsea, anyone else you're looking forward to hearing from tonight? Do you think that Ted Cruz, we talked about it earlier, do you think Ted Cruz and Donald Trump are going to kind of go after each other a little bit?
I definitely foresee that being a possibility as they both, specifically Senator Cruz, continues to rise in the polls. It's time for him to be bold and stand strong and to show people how he differs from Donald Trump, because I still remember that pat on the back that he got at one of the previous debates.
Curious, is there a big crowd already?
Yes, people have been coming in, mingling. The weather out here, it's a little nippy, but it's beautiful. There's a ton of enthusiasm, people with posters and signs. I'm very excited to go in for the first debate.
All right, well, go get warm. Enjoy it. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks,
Chelsea, good to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we just talked about it, but you knew it was a matter of time. Hear about the new battle brewing between Ted Cruz and Donald Trump and whether or not there's any value in it. And will Maine's Republican governor lose his job? Find out why Democratic state lawmakers are trying to oust him. Those stories and more when Newsmax Now continues. And we still want to hear from you. Tell us what you think of the late Alan Rickman and his career. You can tweet us at Newsmax Now or leave us a comment on our website. We'll be right back.